The video you are about to watch was made for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed in this video are those of the content creators themselves and should not be taken personally. So sit back and enjoy.
Sweaty smile. Hand on his chest, on the flutter. There you go.
I don't know.
Something does not sit right to me about this whole cruise ship situation. How is it that we get one video from that passenger on board who was crying and seemed nervous, but it almost feels like he's reading something?
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people. People with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
We're not just a story, we're not just headlines. Kind of almost looks like he's looking somewhere else as he's talking. And my question is, with 150 people on board and 3 confirmed people who have passed already from this virus, how is it that we're not getting more footage from other people from what's going on inside the ship? I don't know, this whole thing kind of seems off to me. I'm not saying anything for sure, but let me know what you guys think.
A small town just south of St. Louis, Missouri, just fired their entire city council. The city council of Festus, Missouri, just approved a $6 billion data center in light of people in the city adamantly opposed to it. They had no answers, no transparency, just vibes and corporate promises. City residents blatantly asked the city council, who's running this thing? What is it going to do to water, the land, our property values? And the city council basically said, trust us. When residents took action, they voted out all 4 members of the city council who voted in favor of this data center. Gone. Bags packed. See you later. This is what happens when politicians forget who they work for. You don't get to greenlight billion-dollar projects next to people's homes, ignore their questions, and don't expect consequences.
And this way, when I get out of office in, let's say, 8 or 9 years from now, I'll be able to use it. I'll be able to use it myself.
This is humiliating. A Democratic senator asked Donald Trump's judicial nominees if he could run for a 3rd term in 2028, and they went silent. Just watch this back and forth. It is insane.
Mr. Mark, if I might, just tell me about the 22nd Amendment. What does it provide?
The 22nd Amendment, Senator, my career has mostly been in criminal prosecution. I haven't had an opportunity to use that one specifically.
Anyone able to help on the 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution?
Well, Senator, I believe it is the amendment that deals with a 2-term limitation on
Correct.
service.
It states no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. Mr. Mark, is President Trump eligible to run for president again in 2028?
Senator, without considering all the facts and looking at everything, depending on what the situation is, this to me strikes as more of a hypothetical of something that could be.
It's not a hypothetical. Has President Trump been elected president twice?
President Trump has been certified the president of the United States 2 times.
Is he eligible to run for a 3rd term under our Constitution?
I would have to review the
All I need to
actual
tell you
wording of
is
it.
the language of the constitutional amendment that makes it clear that no, he is not eligible to run for the third term. Anybody else brave enough to say that the Constitution of the United States prevents President Trump from seeking a third term? Anybody willing to apply the Constitution by its plain language in the 22nd Amendment? Nobody. All right, let's move on.
To be clear, these are judicial nominees, judges. Their job is to interpret the Constitution and know what it says. And they can't even say Donald Trump can't run for a third term. They don't even have the courage to do that. Now, to be clear, they know what the 22nd Amendment says. They know that Donald Trump can't run for a third term, but they can't say it out loud because if they do, Donald Trump won't support them anymore. MAGA will come after them. It is a cult. And when our government officials can't acknowledge a fact, we're in some deep trouble.
Okay, just watch this. It gets even worse for Donald Trump. Barely anyone showed up for day 3 of the PGA Cadillac Championship at his Doral Club in Florida. This is hitting him where it hurts most. The tournament has become the worst attended PGA event in history, with rafters completely empty on Thursday, just 12 to 20 fans on Friday, and maybe 50 to 60 on Saturday around the 18th hole, even with Scotty Scheffler playing. Golf accounts like Talk Birdie to Me mocked the tiny crowds. Rick Riley called it the worst in years, and everyone noted how everything Trump touches turns to shit. He's using Air Force One for short hops. A MAGA influencer buddy got busted in a human trafficking sting, and he's pushing to wreck DC's public golf courses for his vanity projects. Top players skip it to avoid the photo op humiliation. This chaotic, joyless event, complete with early Sunday teas and TSA-level security for Trump's visit, proves once again that Trump cheats at golf and kills everything he touches.
I thought this was funny. It said basically every Republican president has sinister war in the Middle East and crashed the economy. Starts off with Bush Sr., who crashed the economy and sinister war in the Middle East. W., who crashed the economy and sinister war in the Middle East. And with Trump, crashed the economy not once, but twice. And also sinister war in the Middle East. If that doesn't sum up the Republican Party in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
So if dentists make their money off of people with bad teeth, why would I want to use a toothpaste that 9 out of 10 dentists recommend?
Did you know they were putting wood chips in your bread now?
This message is for Dave's Killer Bread and Dave's Killer Bread only. I don't know. Actually, this is a public service announcement, maybe. I was just about to feed a sandwich to my daughter when I was cutting the crust off of the sandwich, and there's actual wood chips in the loaf of bread. And at first I was gaslighting myself. I was like, maybe it's some sort of like grain or oat or something. But no, it's for sure a wood chip, and they're like all throughout this bread.
Wow.
And I've gone through like literally the entire loaf now feeling for it. I thought it was just in one piece. Not that that makes it better. But there's literal
Didn't they used to
wood
do this in the
chips
1800s?
throughout our whole loaf of bread. So check your Dave's Killer Bread for wood chips.
Check it.
I've been seeing a lot of TikToks lately about people complaining about how hard it is to live in America and everything's more expensive and it's a third world country with a Gucci belt. And I just want you to know one thing. You are not crazy. That is fact. We rank 25th in the world for economic freedom, 129th in global peace, a land of the 15th freest, 15th, 17th for quality of life, 20th for gender equality, 18th for healthcare, but we spend more than anybody else. We have the lowest life expectancy for men and women of any country with a high GDP. We rank second to last in childcare quality, 29th in work-life balance, no surprises there. Pay attention, because this is a weird one. The scale for this one says that the #1 country has the highest rate of poverty. What that means is 54 countries have a lower poverty rate than the richest country in the world. We do, however, rank #1 in a few places. We are absolutely killing the game in the cost of college. #1, baby! Scotland tried, but we do have the highest rate of overdoses. And you can always rest assured that you live in the richest country in the world, except that the richest 10% own 70% of the wealth and the bottom half are fighting over 2.5% of it. What I'm trying to say is if you feel like you're struggling just to survive right now and this seems like a bunch of bullshit, it's because it is a struggle to survive right now and it is a bunch of bullshit.
Going to Disney in Tokyo is now cheaper than going to Disney in Florida. From the US, going all the way to Tokyo. Correct. So how much do you think a one-day ticket into the park in Florida costs compared to Tokyo? I think Florida's got to be upwards of $400 for a ticket. What? I have no idea. $400 for a ticket to to a park?
I've never been to Disney.
No,
what, 200?
no. Okay, it's that's closer.
150.
It's $164 for a day pass.
I've never looked into it. I don't know.
In Tokyo, how much do you think a day pass costs?
Half the price, $80.
It's even less than that. It's $60. So that's a third of the price for going to Tokyo Disney rather than Florida. How much is a hotel in Florida Disney compared to Tokyo Disney?
Now we're talking like $400, $500 a night.
So I think that this is a little low, actually. It says $309 per night in Florida. If you stay at a Disney resort hotel, it's definitely more than that. In Tokyo, how much is a hotel in Disney?
I'm going to continue with the half bit. I'm going $150 a night.
It's right around there. It's $186 per night. The last thing is flights. How much is a flight from in the US to Florida compared to in the US to Tokyo?
Depends where you're coming from, but I'll say the average flight has to be $450.
Yeah, so this one says around $374. It could go upwards of $450, as low as $350.
Depends on the season.
How much do you think it is to Tokyo on average?
Is it $800?
It's right around $800. It's $879. Again, that can fluctuate. I don't know how many days they calculated for. A trip to Florida Disney living in the US is $1,803.
That's crazy.
A trip to Tokyo with the flights, hotel, and the park passes is $1,584 for almost $250 cheaper.
A new billboard has been placed in Times Square highlighting Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein, and you just have to see it for yourself. Watch. That's in the middle of Times Square, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people seeing it every single day. And the billboard was put up by the Lincoln Project, who does some amazing work combating Donald Trump. And they're right. All eyes should be on Donald Trump's relationship with Epstein. He has done everything he can to cover it up. And that makes you wonder why. I mean, what's going on between the best friends? But I haven't forgotten, you haven't forgotten, and we got to keep pressure on this administration to get some transparency.
How much do you think it would cost for them to renovate Alcatraz?
Billions.
Billions of dollars.
None of the pipes are working. They're all rusted out, corroded. The concrete is 110 years old and hasn't had any maintenance on it. There are places where you could stick your hand through the wall. They have to do an entire renovation of everything.
So you don't think it's possible for them to? You don't think it's possible
Everything's
for them to
possible if you have
Alcatraz?
if you have an infinite amount of money. You can do anything you want. But as it stands today, this is not a usable prison. It's a historic site.
And how long do you think it would take them to renovate Alcatraz?
That's like saying there's no answer. It would take forever.
Are you guys renovating Alcatraz right now?
Yes.
For Donald Trump?
Dude, I'm not doing any reviews.
You guys, so right now there are construction crews renovating Alcatraz. We don't know if that's because of Donald Trump or if that's just some renovations they are doing here. But they are revamping some parts of Alcatraz.
Oh my God. What in the hell? This lady's crazy. She's trying to run. Oh my God. No kidding. Oh my God.
Inventors that were too dangerous to exist. Amy Eskridge. She discovered a way to harness anti-gravity, and not long after, she was found unalived in her home. She was just 34 years old and she lived in Huntsville, Alabama. Investigators claimed she unalived herself by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The strange thing is that a few weeks before she was found lifeless, she posted that, "If you see any report that I killed myself, I most definitely did not."
So Walmart wants to take out the self-checkout lanes. They made the announcement that they're going to try to take all of these out by the end of 2026. And what is the reason? Well, the reason that they list is theft. They say that too many people abuse the self-checkout to scan the wrong item and to take things, primarily food items. So I will, of course, be the advocate the other direction. As you guys know, I often am. I think we have a larger systemic problem in our society to discuss. Inflation is crazy out of control. We've had over 1 million layoffs in 2025. Just last week, 48,000 people, families, leaders from UPS and a whole slew of others. We are now in such a desperate place for many human beings that they would be willing to get caught stealing from Walmart to be able to afford food. That is something that needs to be addressed in our society by us, by our leaders, because it's not a good situation to be in when this many Americans are out of work and can't find work and don't have any way to feed their families.
Shrinkflation is when companies make their products smaller but keep it at the same price, and it exposes just how hard customers are getting robbed. Because while a can of tomatoes used to have 650 milliliters, today it might have 600 milliliters. Companies have an incentive to do this because if they can make more profit and customers won't even know this, why wouldn't they? But it gets even worse because sometimes they change what's in the product, which is a different form of shrinkflation. For example, the original can used to have tomato puree as their primary ingredient, but now their primary ingredient is water. And if they can charge the same amount of money for something that has less of the more expensive thing, then why would they not do that? The only issue is when enough customers get together and get mad about it, and then there's nothing companies can do. Like, one of the most angering one for consumers is that this packet of gum is supposed to have 10 slots for gum, but they replaced one of them with a thumb grip. And as long as customers don't notice, they're able to reduce their cost of making this entire packet of gum by 10% because they don't have to include one of the 10 gums. And once you start to notice it, you'll see it everywhere, even on stuff like breath strips where you literally are getting basically half of what you used to, even though it's the same price. So follow to be aware of stuff like this, or you might never see me again.
Wait a minute, so you're telling me not only do they not pay any taxes, but they get tax refunds too? They don't pay taxes and they get fucking refunds? Disney paid $0 in taxes and they got 1.4 billion back! What the fuck?
You do realize they want to destroy your car, right? That's the point here. Check this out.
They watered down the gas. It's not even 10% anymore. It's 15% ethanol. And they're telling you before you put it in your damn vehicle, don't put that shit in your vehicle. I don't give a shit what Donald Trump does. We're not fucking putting E15 in our vehicle that's designed to run off 10% max. Y'all need to be careful with that shit. I mean, Donald Trump's done a lot for our oil and gas industry, but putting E15 gas in your vehicle, it's not it.
He said it right there. Donald Trump has done a lot for the oil industry. What he's done is given them $63 billion last month. I would say that you could almost speculate that it benefits the electric car industry and the gas car industry by ruining your car, because you're going to have to buy another one. What else did they pass recently? They passed that all 2027 models will have all that facial recognition and data collecting. They won't let you drive if they think you're angry. The coming collapse is going to be so severe because everything they're doing is getting the last bit of money out of the system and then setting up the biggest surveillance state you've ever seen.
Billions of people have circumnavigated east and west. 0 people have gone south. No one's gone from Santiago south and popped up over in Australia. No one's ever done it. Well, you can't because it's too far from an airport and Antarctica's too cold and we don't want to disturb the penguins. These are the excuses. The globe is filled with lies and excuses that make you weak. Flat Earth has truth that makes you strong.
So are you telling me that nobody...
Do you want to double it? 6 Bitcoins, but you owe me 1 if you're wrong?
No.
Okay.
Because this is just a question.
Yeah.
You leave Los Angeles and you head, what you're saying is south.
No, south would be that way. All of these lines radiate, they're all south.
Okay, any direction, I don't care, as long as you do not change direction.
Will be south.
Okay, so go south, you're going to hit an edge eventually. You're not going to...
How about I'll leave Los Angeles west, and I keep going straight, and now I'm going south.
Yeah, so keep going, and now keep going. Now,
Antarctica.
You will never come back.
Nobody's ever done it.
So no one's ever circumnavigated the globe is what you're saying.
No one's ever circumnavigated south. South. That's exclusive to a globe, but no one's ever done it.
So again, I'd like to fact check that. But if that's the case, like these are the things like why I'm open-minded, because if that's true, well, then my question would be, what's up, NASA? What's up, government? What's up, Elon?
I don't know who need to tell him this, but that boy who just made that water bottle that has a strap built into the label, do not get a patent on it. I repeat, do not get a patent on that product. And I know people are going to think I sound crazy, but Julian Brown, the one who created fuel from plastic, he was told not to get a patent on how he does it. And the reason why he was told not to get a patent is because when you get a patent, you have to list everything that you do.
Y'all haters said it would never happen, but Donald Trump has just solved our national debt crisis. That's right, his solution to solving the $37 trillion national debt is to give billions and billions of dollars to America's greatest ally and then beg Americans to pay off their debts. And he's made it even easier for Americans to give them their spare money while they're paying $5 a gallon at the gas pump by saying that they'll take PayPal or Venmo. And since Americans are already paying an average of 37% of their income to the federal government, I didn't think anybody would want to donate their cash to a government that can't even balance its own checkbook. But apparently, since 1996, Americans have contributed $67.3 million towards the national debt, and that roughly covers 20 minutes of the new debt accumulation. And right now, there is a 95% chance that the United States is going to hit $40 trillion in national debt by the year 2027. So my question is, are you going to be Venmoing them part of your paycheck or not?